Welcome to ISF, everyone. I'm your host, Jason Carter. It is so good to see you. Thank you so much for watching. Throughout history, the idea of femininity has often been associated with subservience and acquiescence. However, what if we change the narrative of what it means to be a woman? That is exactly what the podcast Cycle Chats aims to do. They destigmatize the idea of womanhood through empowerment and community, and their creators and co-hosts, Emily Palacios and Stephanie Laverde, are joining us now on ISF to discuss the podcast and why you guys look so incredible today.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we're hard to miss. Yeah,
These old things. From head to toe, just on brand, beautiful. But this speaks to who you both are as women. I had the opportunity to work with you at a really cool event,
yes.
And I was immediately impressed and thought, who are these people? Who are they so awesome? Why have they not been in my life? But I'm glad you're here now. Cycle Chats, it's not about cycling.
No. Nope.
No, right? It's about empowering women and telling stories and reframing what womanhood is, right?
Breaking the cycle.
Breaking the cycle. Emily, how do we break that cycle?
Education, right? I'm a professor. That's my full-time job currently, and that is what it is. It is talking to my kids and having them understand these generational traumas that they've been through, societal pressures that we feel as women or gentlemen or however you really identify, and then creating your own narrative around it. You can break that cycle by just being educated, right? We were just having this conversation the other day. You don't have to scroll through TikTok, Instagram, whatever it may be, down a dark, deep hole of nothingness. What if we filled that 3-hour stroll with education?
Yeah.
Yes. And interestingly enough, when I listen to Cycle Chats, even though I'm not a woman, I am still able to walk away inspired, educated, curious, because the narratives and the rhetoric and everything you talk about, it's transcendent.
Yeah, well, and that's the big thing, right? Is so when we talk about feminism, a lot of times that word, especially now in the way that social media portrays it, it's very negative. We hate men. That's not how I was raised to believe it. So for us, when we say we're feminists in the sense that we want to honor the differences between each other, but we also want to come together to be able to respect those differences too. Like, what makes us different? How can we understand the other person? How can we see the other side and then bridge that gap? So that's like our big thing with education, is how do we bridge the gap so we're not continuing to push this divide to be like, oh, all men suck and it's just women. It's not about that. It's like, how can we sit down and actually have a conversation with each other to say, hey, teach me about why it's different, because why your differences in being a man or differences in being a woman. So that's big with us with education.
Decidedly so. And feminism, I think people have this misconception that it's this bashing of men.
Yeah.
But in its most barest form and its definition is just the equality of the sexes.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's crazy to us how many guests that we'll have on and they're like, well, we don't consider ourselves a feminist.
They get like scared.
They get very offended by that
like,
word.
why?
It's like bankruptcy. Oh, feminism.
And it makes them uncomfortable the minute that we say it, and we don't see it that way. That's not what our show's about. We're not sitting there bashing men. We're just having conversations about what we've been through and our narrative and how we hope to change the cycle of other people's narratives.
Emily, when you think of womanhood, being a woman, what does that mean to you?
Support, number one. I mean, we have to support one another in whatever choices. I don't quite understand when people make a choice for themselves and then somebody comes after them.
Stephanie?
So to me, it's not necessarily what is the definition of a woman, but you have a femininity and a masculinity that exists in all of us across the board. So to me, woman is feminine. Okay, what is femininity? It's being nurturing, it's being caring, it's taking time to be more emotional with someone and connect. So for me, at the end of the day, it's about being connected. And that's what it means to me, because I have moments where I feel a little bit more masculine. I have moments I feel a little bit more feminine. And so there's such a spectrum with it that to put a
label,
a scientific
stamp
stamp on what this means, I think you're missing the point of the question.
The podcast educates, it inspires, and it empowers, and you both are just such incredible humans. Thank you for talking with us today on ISF, guys. Please go and download or stream the Cycle Chats podcast. You will be changed, and I'll leave you with that. Stephanie, Emily, you're the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason.